Okay, so if you're going into year 12 in September, you need to put aside whatever TikTok motivation you are watching because we need to talk. This video is what I wish I knew before going into year 12 and the truth about what year 12 actually feels like and how to not get punched in the face by it. My first tip is for you to understand that year 12 is not a warm-up. Year 12 counts heavily. Year 12 matters more than you think. Most of what goes into your university application, from personal statements, predicted grades, which are super important, super curriculars, they all come from year 12. So no, you can't really start taking things seriously in year 13. Year 12 is the starting line. What to do now? Find out what your exam specification board is. Find out how your exams are assessed, whether it's through a coursework and then one exam, whether it's through some practical book and one exam. Find out however way it is assessed. And then one very, very important point is that you need to start building your notes from now, okay? Don't wait until after your mocks. The second thing I want to talk about is that the jump from GCSE to A level is real. And I'm sure that you've heard that in a lot of places. You go from quite literally being spoon-fed to finish this 12-hour chapter by tomorrow. And what I would say is A levels are actually harder, not just because of the content, but also because of independent learning. You're going to have to do a lot of independent learning. So start training your brain now. Start learning how to take active notes, blurting, teaching it back to somebody, summarizing. Watch a year 12 topic video and explain it in your own words after you're done watching it. Get comfy with confusion. The feeling of I don't get this is a part of it, and it's gonna happen a lot. So learn to sit with it and then figure it out. Another point that I want to talk about is how everybody's confused at first, okay? So you're not left behind. The first few weeks is utter chaos. Everybody's just pretending like they're fine, like they understand what's going on, unless it's somebody that's repeating the year. So I want you to understand that your brain is adjusting. Do not panic if you feel stupid, so to say. Your brain is learning. That is how learning happens, quite literally. The tip that I have for this sort of issue is have a messy notebook where you write everything that has confused you that week and try to revisit it every 1 or 2 weeks and tick off the things that you figured out. And as you go by and as you keep doing this, the list will shrink. Okay, my fourth tip is to study smarter and not harder. This is not GCSE, and you can't keep copying notes and expecting to remember anything, quite literally, because there are a lot of notes in your A-level subject. It really is about depth, not aesthetics. So the things that I'd say, just learn the active learning methods early. Start learning them now. Your active recall, your spaced repetition, your Feynman technique, your blurting. Spread your revision over time so that you don't end up cramming. That is something that I wish somebody warned me about. Test yourself instead of rereading. Teach it to somebody else. You see me looking this just because there's a bunch of kids playing, like climbing trees. But yeah, and if you're the type of person that easily forgets things, I'd advise you to set up a simple system, maybe Notion, maybe Google Calendar, that forces you to review these things over time so that they get easier for you. In one of my videos on TikTok, I spoke about how supercurriculars are actually your super weapon. They are your secret weapon. And I spoke about how supercurriculars are different from extracurriculars. Supercurriculars are targeted towards your chosen subject of study. Your university applications love supercurriculars, not extracurriculars. They don't care too much for your extracurriculars. Universities love them, especially Oxbridge for medicine, dentistry, law, all these competitive courses. But that doesn't mean doing 100 things at once, because at that point, you're quite literally just, one, deceiving yourself, and secondly, it really is not going to help you. So I am going to maybe record a video about access programs and how they can be your supercurriculars. But what I want you to do this summer, like right now, is choose. There's definitely a topic, a real life topic that you love, something you just find intriguing. Read an article about it, read an academic journal about it, watch a YouTube video about it, and try to replicate that knowledge. Try to rewrite the article, but in your own words, what you understand and the questions that you now have as a result of the work that you have done. And I'd advise you that if you keep doing these things, have a Google document that you can tag or title things that I've thought about, things that I've learned about. There's sort of the logbook that I spoke about in my TikTok video. They will help you when it's time to write your personal statement, because you would have this list of things that you've thought about that are just that just show intellectual curiosity and passion for your subject. My sixth point is that your brain is a muscle and you need to train it now. I'm not saying study 10 hours a day this summer, that's mad. Get into thinking mode. One tip that I'd give you from my year 12 experiences, year 12 actually rewards consistency, not cramming. So my prep ideas for you: watch 1 to 2 YouTube videos that will just introduce you to your subjects that you will be studying. Try just maybe for fun one afternoon before you start watching a movie later that night. Try to answer a 6 marker question for A level. Seems a little bit excessive, but trust me, you should probably do that. And then I think this one, everybody would have told you, do a few GCSE recap questions to plug in any gaps. Because I tell you in year 12, your teachers will say that, okay, so you might have heard about this during GCSEs, you might have learned this during GCSEs. So yeah, that's why you should maybe try to go through a few GCSE flashcards, GCSE quick fire questions, that type of stuff. My last tip, and arguably very, very important one, is for you to check your circle. Because in my opinion, year 12 is the year that people start showing you their true colors. Find people who want to grow and not just complain. I'm not saying you need perfect friends. I'm just saying you need friends who allow you to be human and to be ambitious at the same time. You don't need friends who will laugh at you for wanting to get an A, or or laugh at you when you're studying, or things like. You really truly don't need friends like that. My advice for you would be to go into year 12 to come up with something good, not going into year 12 to find a friend group. And even if at all you have a friend group, let it be one where you have buddies that you can share deadlines, test each other, and moan about how much work you have to do without giving up on the work that you have to do. It makes a lot of difference. So yeah, year 12 is no joke. It is no joke at all. But if you go in with a clear head, with your eyes open, and with a willingness to figure it out as you go, you will actually do great. You will thrive. It will be hard, but it would also be rewarding. And at the end, you'd think to yourself that you actually enjoyed it. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you'll be here for the next one.